On this episode of The Auto Archaeologist, we're looking at a very rare 1969 Dodge Dart. And that's not the rare part. It's what came along with it, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, really, this is mind-blowing stuff. But you'll see it here in just a second. This right here is a 1969 Dodge Dart Swinger. And you're like, okay, that's cool. 340 4-speed car. But I'm sure, you know, keen-eye observers will be like, what's that badge on the hood? And I'll get more into that. But it does have a 340 in it right now. It's not the original 340. And the owner and my friend are currently commenting off on the side. Right there. Those two. But the current owner was able to purchase the car in October of 2025. It was on OfferUp. And it came basically just as you see it. Disassembled. It was the son-in-law? No, stepson of the original owner, which I'll have some more information on him here in a bit. But the original owner worked at a Chrysler or a Dodge dealership in Schaumburg, and he has paperwork and information that you would not believe. So it's the last time this car was on the road was 1988. You can see it has a Hoffman Estate sticker from 1983 and a Cicero sticker from 1971. And you see it has an SSA sticker on the vent window and 70 Challenger TA side stickers because he raced this car. It has 37,000 miles on it. The interior is original, other than the mice ruined the headliner. I got some better pictures of the interior I'll show at the end. But the actual seats are just about perfect. Might be a tear here and there. And he definitely put in some like aftermarket gauges and aftermarket radio and all kinds of cool little bits and bobs. But this thing is a time capsule. Original stripes, we believe. It's got center lines, and we found the paperwork for the tires. When did he buy the tires? In 86? 86, yeah. Oh, hi, puppy. Oh,
He's very happy.
he's a good boy?
He's a very good boy.
Oh, hi, puppy. There, he's coming your way. Both of them are. Oh, mighty Mopars. Yeah, you got two big dogs. Okay, after doggy incident, fun, here is the back end of the 69 Dodge Dart. And you see it has an SSA stripe on the back tail pan, or on the trunk lid, which I'll get more into here in a bit. You can see the original side. And you're gonna be like, hi puppy. Hello. Hi Arlo. Hi big guy. Oh, there's a puppy. That's a big puppy. Hi big guy. Bye. And then here's all the new old stock parts he has for the car.
No, she's doing it in 10 minutes.
Real quick, here's the other side. I know you can't see very well, and of course didn't bring my flashlights with me in here.
I got one right here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. At least I got the nice pictures, but it's a 4-speed car, so that's why we don't believe this is an original SSA Dart. And you're like, what is an SSA Dart? The Dodge Darts, we think starting in '69 in Chicagoland only, they had an optional weird thing called the SSA Dart, which stood for Super Swinger Automatic. And that's incredible that this has one of the original emblems and the stripe and all that. But let me show you what is really incredible. But that right there is multiple sets of original SSA stripes in black and white, and the never before seen, he's got 8 sets of SSA emblems. They're like, I'm legitimately speechless, because when I found the 1970 SSA Dart in my friend's yard in Missouri, the emblems were gone, and the stripe, the only one, because these are only on the trunk. These were only on the trunk stripe, and they were worn out. They're obviously from sun fade. So seeing, look at this. Multiple sets of SSA badges and the original instructions on how to put them in from Chrysler. Hold on. No, I want to get them to the middle one. There you go. Dart SSA insignia application instructions. See, they had the SSA on the side and the SSA on the trunk. And the wind's blowing, and I'm losing light. No, it's good. I'm all done. So I'll go into more detail here in a bit. I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail on the history of the SSA Darts and the owner of this SSA pseudo car, because there's some really interesting history. The SSA Dart, we believe, from the few of us that have been researching it, was from 1970 through 1972. The SSA Dart was an option package that you could order, or it was done at the dealership. Usually it came with the trunk stripe, which you'll see in the pictures, on the 70 that we uncovered in Missouri. It also came with tiny little SSA badges. It was an S/SA. And you're asking yourself, what does SSA stand for? And in the documentation that we have, the SSA stands for Super Swinger Automatic. That's the big thing that we think is why the 69 is not an SSA, because it's a 4-speed. And we'll get into that later, but dealerships in Chicago could get you the SSA Dart. Like I said, it came on swingers, obviously, and they came with swingers with automatics as an option. It would be like a GT or such. Only now, in our research, we've found a few ads for them, either new or used, from the 70 through 72 timeframe. We even found a Mr. Norm's ad from 1972 for his new 1972 Dodge Dart Swinger SSA, which just popped up recently in one of our searches for more information. So they were around. I'll put a few of the ads here as we're talking about it. And from there, there's not much information. Like I said, when I posted the video on the 70 Dart SSA, I think 2 or 3 years ago now, I'll put a link to it here somewhere. The SSA, like I said, it's a 70, but you could definitely see where the SSA emblems were in the script emblems, and you could see the trunk lid stripe. Is there any documentation? We've never been able to find any documentation like on a build sheet or an order form on any of these. So it's just if they had this stuff on them. That's where we come up to the 69 and the owner, Ron Litko. He worked at a Dodge dealership in this time frame. He bought the 69 Dodge Dart Swinger 340 4-speed car brand new on December 13th, 1968. And it was always intended to be a race car. But he worked at Dodge. So he, we think, got leftover SSA emblems and stripes, because that's the only thing we can believe, because this random dealership just happened to have a bunch of the stripes and emblems. And I'll show you, you saw them in the video, but what are the odds that he would save them all these years later? He put a few of them on his 69 Dart. You saw the SSA emblem on the hood, and you saw the SSA stripe on the trunk lid and the single stripe on the one vent window, but that's about it. I mean, he modified the Dart, he raced the Dart. It's not the original engine or transmission. He put a 6-pack on it. So, I mean, he had fun with the Dart. And he did a lot of weird stuff. Like, he had a fiberglass Dart GT hood with the dual, like, little simulated air vents. And he put a 6-pack style scoop on that. But with it being a 4-speed. That made it very easy to see that it wasn't an SSA. So all SSAs were swingers, they were automatics, and they were from 70 through 72 that we've been able to document. So that definitely puts the 69 out of the running. Now the new owner, Henry, had a bunch of extra SSA pieces when he bought the 69 in October of 2025. And he was kind enough to give me, if you can see, one of the white stripes with, I mean, it's It's a white like SSA emblem with black stripes. He gave me one of the black emblems with the white stripes, and he also gave me one of the installation guides, but I'll put a picture of it here because I didn't want to, it's delicate. I took the worst of everything because he deserved the best stuff. And then the piece de resistance, he gave me a set of the original SSA emblems, which was so kind. Absolutely mind-blowing that after all these years that this gentleman would come across a Dart that would have all this history just in existence. I mean, who would have thought that they'd be stuffed away in a tub for 40, 50 years now? Absolutely blew my mind. When he showed me what he had, it was incredible. And for someone who has been trying to search down the history on these cars, this is a treasure trove, absolutely. Because you will never see these anywhere again. I wish I'm wrong. I want to see more of these. If anyone has an SSA Dart, please get in touch with me. Last time I posted it, some people said they had one in the past. They either rusted away and went to the junkyard, or they don't know where the emblems are anymore. So there may still be a few out there. In all my travels with all the darts I've seen, my friend Jim, he had, I think, 50 darts at one point. He had never seen one, and he lives in Rockford, which is just north of Chicago. So I think this is probably one of the rarest Dart options you'll ever see. I mean, I know it's kind of weird and it's offbeat, and it's a Dodge Dart Swinger SSA, so it's, you know, what's the rare? I mean, it's rare, but is it desirable? No, because no one knows it exists, except for the one. Man, I wish we could find that Mr. Norm SSA. How cool would that be? Or to have the Mr. Norm SSA Dart. And after 1971 here in the US, they didn't put 340s in darts. They put them in Demons and Dusters, but not in darts. Except in Canada, they did a few. So this would be one of the cooler optioned, unique Dodge Darts in existence. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it, because this is so weird and interesting to me that it's always happy to hear feedback on others if they think I'm crazy or if they think it is actually cool. Hopefully it's the latter, but let me know. Hey, Automotive Adventures, I hope you enjoyed that video from a little piece of history. And I know it's a little bit not normal for me. It's not a barn find, even though it's been sitting since the 80s and it was nice and all that. But the history, my goodness, the history. Legitimately, it took that SSA door and knocked it down like Chuck Norris, may he rest in peace. That, after hunting it down for all these years, still blows my mind. And the fact that I own now a set of the emblems and the stripes, it almost makes me want to go build a 72 Dart Swinger 340, or automatic obviously, and like make a car, because that would be so cool. I had a 72 Dart 318 Swinger 20 years ago. Wow, that's scary. 20 years ago. Yellow car, white top. It was a Chicago car too, but didn't have, wasn't an SSA. But yeah, I was at the guy's house, I think on Tuesday of this week. Went out with my friend Sarah, and she's the one you see in the video, because one of our favorite restaurants is right by the guy's house. So it worked out beautifully. The weather turned out to be awesome. Time, as always with my adventures, time was short because we were legitimately losing light. I'm happy to have been able to do it, and I hope to go back and go through. He has more bins of stuff. We just ran out of time. So over the last week, I went to the doctor. I worked on some other projects, like I'm trying to rebuild my computer. And unfortunately, we're in the middle of what they call the computer apocalypse because of RAM prices going through the roof because of AI. I'm not going to get into it. It just sucks. Prices for everything I want have quadrupled in the last 6 months. So, yeah. But today, which is the Sunday before this video goes out, I legitimately spent 8 hours in the garage working on the green car. Like, not messing around. I mean, I messed around a little bit, but actually worked and got a bunch of small things done. Like, I had a workbench full of stuff. I swapped over the shifter to the 70s style. I bolted down the seat. I replaced the front marker light assembly and a few other things. I'll do a full video here soon because I have to do it on, you can see there's the interior back behind here. I have to do a full interior update and let you guys know what happened with all of that. So yeah, I also made my new stool. Unfortunately, my excess mass is not kind on milk crates. So I built a platform within one so I won't break them anymore. I'm actually sitting on it right now. So yeah, been busy. And this week's gonna be beautiful for a few days, I hope. 70s and then drop off and there might be snow on Thursday. But while it's nice, I'm gonna keep on working. I still have a bunch of projects behind the camera. I have to go through all that. I have to find my speaker brackets. I think I have them. I vaguely remember them, but they're not where I thought they were because I'm going to start mounting. I'm actually going to start putting stuff in the green car. I got my speakers over there for the dash, but I got to pull the glass, the windshield out, so I won't do that until later. But I want to get everything ready for that next step. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. I'm going to keep on chucking away at this, and hopefully by the year 2040, I should have the green car done. Sad but true, probably. All right, well, I hope everyone had a good week. Everyone is happy and healthy, and I'll talk to you all soon. You stay safe.